All right, so today's going to be a snack-sized episode. This is an email that I get almost daily, and that email is, Todd, what is working right now in marketing? And so today's bite-sized episode, I'm going to give you 3 things that we are using right now that continues to work. And one of them is fairly new. It's kind of hot, and so I think you should probably jump on it. And that's going to be my third one. Third one I'm going to talk about. Make sure that you jump on that because I don't think it's gonna. I think it's gonna work for a while before everyone figures that out. So we're gonna jump onto what that is. So make sure you hang on to the end of the episode. But before we jump in today's episode, if you have not downloaded a copy of our motivated seller script, go to nolimitrealestateinvesting.com/script. Nolimitrealestateinvesting.com/script. And there you can download a copy of the very same script that we use in our real estate business. So the purpose of today's episode is for you to bring in leads, right? Because what is marketing? Marketing is to bring in leads. You got leads, then you could sell to them. You could sell to them, you could lock that property under contract and sell it for top dollar. The beginning of the funnel is leads. That's where you got to start. If you don't have leads, you have nothing. Okay, leads are the lifeblood of your business. It is the oxygen. So if you're not focused on this, hey, I get it. I understand why this is the most important question. Wholesaling is one of the best businesses in the world. I don't know many businesses where you could generate 30, 40, 50, even $100,000 per deal without actually having to fulfill a product long term. And that's why I love it so much, right? It's been a gift for me and my family and for all my clients and partners. Like, I love you guys. I love this community. So I really, really appreciate you all taking your time to listen and implement. Because when I hear this implementation, nothing gets me more excited. All right. So what's working in 2023? I'm going to work from my, from the, by the way, all 3 of these are good, or I wouldn't mention them, to my, where I expect the biggest one to be for 2023. And this will change every year, by the way. So number 1 is working with other wholesalers. So right now, what has happened the last 6 months in business? Ever since last July, interest rates have gone up. So with that, buyers have left the market, right? Many buyers have left the market. And so what you do is you have wholesalers who are in the market who have not refreshed their buyers list. They have not kept up with the times. And so they've locked up properties and now they can't sell them. Well, their loss is your gain. So my recommendation to you is to build a list of all the wholesalers in your market. How do you do that? Go to a local Facebook group and a local real estate Facebook group and say, who are the wholesalers here? You can also search for wholesalers if you're in a local group, right? Reach out to everybody and find out who that is. Also, go on Google and search how to sell my house fast. Google that, and you will see a bunch of people advertising on PPC. So you'll find some other wholesalers there. Also, your local RIAs and groups. You want to get their email addresses and your text messages. What I would do is you want to email these people regularly and text them and say, hey, what deals do you have that you can't move? Get those deals. Now, because you listen to this podcast and you're on it, you have constantly refreshed your buyers list, right? And now you can sell other people's deals to your list and split the profits with them. You could charge them half the deal, $5,000, $4,000, whatever that is. My recommendation, by the way, I had I've done $70,000, $80,000 deals that I split with other wholesalers because my team had a very, very strong buyers list. Okay, make sure. Okay, last year we did a $60,000 deal this way with no marketing out of pocket. Okay, so my recommendation to you is network with other wholesalers in your market. The market's changed. There is a big need to network with other wholesalers, and it doesn't cost you anything out of pocket. So go to local real estate Facebook groups, and you will see all the other wholesalers. Maybe make a post, or you could search wholesalers on there and start to extract phone numbers and emails. I would email people once a week. Hey, you got any deals that we could partner on? Anything you can't move? Send that out by text message and email once a week, okay? Watch your pipeline grow. So that's 1. Number 2, And this is my favorite. It's my most steady. It's something that's made me the most money out of any other lead source. That is direct mail. I love direct mail. Why? It is, to me, the most predictable source of leads you can have. For us, we have mail that drops every Friday, so that it hits on Tuesday at their respective locations, right? Don't analyze that too much, but we drop it out. Drip, 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 drip. We like many lists. I like to mail owner-occupied, 65 years of age or older, people who live in their house. They're 65 years age of older and they have equity, okay? So that is one list that I like to use. I also like to use the tax default list that you can pull that you get directly from your county. Call up your county, call them up directly and say, I'm looking for real estate that is tax defaulted. Now, I learned this from my good friend Jack Bosch. He says you have to talk to at least 5 people to find out who's got that list direct. Okay, so get that list direct, mail that list every 4-6 weeks, and you are going to pull money out of that. It's very important that you, by the way, all my mail, and here's a little hack too. I don't talk a lot about this, but a little trick I say, please call and listen to 24-hour recorded message. No one will answer. That's a little hack. That will double your response rate. Most people will not leave a message. 60% of our deals come from people who do not leave a message. Okay? The hangups. That's where the money is. I know I just gave you a lot of information there, but if you don't have direct mail in your repertoire, you got to think about adding it. That is my second favorite right now. The next place that I'm going to recommend is something that's pretty hot that I've talked about on other episodes. You got to check out fastsellerleads.com. Fastsellerleads.com. We previously called it novationleads.com, but it's fastsellerleads.com. Right now, if you want the fastest way to get leads, check out fastsellerleads.com. So what it is basically this company will mass market across the country in all kinds of markets. I don't know exactly how they do it. That's the benefit, right? Is that I don't have to worry about it. So they mass market in markets all across the country. I think they do some online advertising and they get people who say, yes, I would like to sell my house. They raise their hand. You buy these leads from them, and these are exclusive to us, to you, if you're listening to this. So you pick a market. So I'm in some markets in Florida. I'm in San Diego. You pick a market, right? And then you bid on the amount that you are willing to pay for that lead. My recommendation is sign up for fastsellerleads.com. It's a free service, right? Free, oh, excuse me. I don't say free service. Excuse me. Take that back. Roll it back. It's free to sign up. It's free to sign up. You could select your county, right? And then you bid on the leads, right? And so they will send you leads. My recommendation here, and maybe I'll do a free training here on this, but you can bid. I recommend bidding between $75 and $200 a lead. Okay, once you get above that, you got to be careful that you don't spend too much money. I notice that the conversion rate on these, it can be as little as 1 out of 7 leads. I've seen it as high as 35. So between 7 and 35, between every 7 and 35 leads, depending on how good your closing skills are or how quickly you get back to them, that's going to be important. Okay, fastsellerleads.com. Now, if you want a massive implementation, go and sign up with a free account. Okay, fastsellerleads.com. Sign up for free. Check it out. Find your county, right? And then you say, hey, you know what? I'm going to bid 75 a lead. You may not be able to get any leads for that. Bump it up to 100, maybe 150, maybe 200, depending on your market. So how do you decide if this is worth it to you? Well, for me, I'm shooting for a minimum of $50,000 a deal. I know other people who shoot for 25. So you might say, Todd, I'm willing to pay $5,000 a deal. Great. So you're thinking, okay, well, if I'm paying $100 a lead, and I know I close 1 out of 50, well, then you know that you could pay about $100 a lead, right? So $100 a lead, you're going to close 1 out of every 50. If you know that you could close 1 out of every 25, hey, guess what? You could pay $200 a lead and still pay $5,000. You may decide that you could spend $10,000 to make $50,000. By the way, that's a good trade. I will do that trade every single day of the week. Or to make it a little less scary, you could spend $5,000 to make $25,000. The most important thing to realize is that you are investing, not spending. Investing, not spending, right? You are not buying a new car. You are taking some money and putting into a stock so that you will get a return, except this one you've got way more control over. So some disadvantages to fastsellerleads.com. Here's why you shouldn't use it. If you are the type that you are going to get the leads and buy them, and they're going to sit in your inbox for like a day or two, don't do this, right? These are highly sensitive. These are people who need to be called immediately, right? So if you're like, hey, I don't want to be bothered. I've got a job and I'm going to get to these leads when I get to them. This is not the lead source for you, right? Cold calling is probably the lead source for you because that requires a lot of nurturing. These are like the type of leads that they want to sell, like right now, the right ones, right? That's why they filled out a form online. That's where the leads are coming from, right? So if you're going to sit there, do not use this lead source. If you are like, hey, I'm ready for hot smoking leads, I want to call these people right now. I've got a sense of urgency. I want to attack them, right? I'm going to be all over these. Or you've got preferably someone on your team handling that, right? Then Fast Seller Leads is right for you. That's really, really important. So make sure that you're not going to let those leads sit. I can't overemphasize enough. If you're going to let them sit in your box, do not waste your money. Now, here's the cool thing about this little hack that I've talked about. If you use fastsellerleads.com, is sometimes there's bids, like there's a low bid and a high bid. And it's like, hey, this person, somebody else is willing to bid $300 or $400. That's kind of crazy, right? So if you're willing and saying, hey, I'm going to bid 100 or 125 and I'm going to hang out here, 150. Sometimes those people, they exhaust their budget and spend $400 a lead. When they're done, you just hang out and you tend to get the leads that you paid 100 to 150 for, right? And that's how you are more strategic and you snap and get those leads. Okay, so fast implementation here. Number one, go to those, take what you've heard here, decide which one of the three that you want to implement. If you liked my Facebook strategy to network with the wholesalers and send out text or email, if you liked my direct mail and you want to do that, guess what? Get a mailing campaign, pull a list, get a schedule of what you're going to mail for the next 12 weeks, send out the mail, right? If you want fast leads today, right? Sign up for fastsellerleads.com, sign up for a free account and make that happen. Heads up, right? Fast Seller Leads is an affiliate of mine, so I do partner with them, but we use that every single day in our own business. We just closed a $40,000 deal. Had, by the way, we also closed a deal from direct mail. And we had someone on our coaching call today lock up most likely a $50,000 deal. This is Matt Lasser out of West Virginia, and he was on fastsellerleads.com and locked up a deal, a house in great condition that the seller basically has a tenant. They locked it up for, I believe, $140, and it's worth about $220. So very, very, very good deal once they get it vacant. So if you look at the return there, that's about a $50,000 deal. So my recommendation is do one of those. Also, if you need the script, you got to call back leads. My free script, if you go to nolimitsrealestateinvesting.com/script, you get the script to call these people back. But my recommendation to you is take massive action, implement. If it's not one of those three, pick one, implement it, make it happen, call people back, use a script, follow up, do big deals, and you will do just fine. I hope you enjoyed today's show, and I will talk to you on the next episode.